Hello everyone, Brian here with the second in the paper model series. So last time we did a Clever Papers Norwegian stave church, and that was an impressive little model made of hard cardboard stock, and it took about an hour to do, had about 70 pieces in it. And so as I was looking around for another paper model, I thought I would try a different company and see how that compares. When I was growing up years ago, they had paper models, but they were nothing impressive, nothing I was interested in. And I have to admit, the little stave church really impressed me. And there are some very, very elaborate models out there. And so I thought I'd give it another try. So what caught my eye this time was the Sagrada Familia, which is a church in Barcelona that's been under construction for about 100 years now. Fascinating. Modern architecture, but not what you think of when you think of modern architecture. Very organic, flowing forms. The architect, I believe his name is Gaudi. Um, really does some interesting work, and this church is just fascinating. It's like nothing you've seen. It's a real fantasy world inside. It's really something. So this caught my eye, and it's co-branded by National Geographic and a company called CubicFun, and CubicFun makes a whole series of paper models, some very elaborate and impressive. The stave church was about 60 pieces. This one is 184 pieces, it says. The stave church took about an hour, so I'm guessing this will take 2.5 to 3 times that. It says on the box 3D puzzle. Um, it's really a model. It's not a puzzle. I'm sure when we open this up, it's got a set of instructions, and there's nothing puzzling about it. So I'm not sure I understand that piece of branding. But anyway, let's take a look. So inside we've got, let's see, this says try me and says 15% off future CubicFun order with a certain code. And look at that, they give you a little London double-decker bus, very simple paper model. Now, so this is different already. The Clever Papers model was a heavy cardboard stock. This looks like it is actually a thin sheet of foam wedged between two pieces of cardboard and then printed. So already this is a slightly heavier model than what we were looking at before. And this looks like it is probably the book. This house on the front here is another building by the same architect. You can see that flowing, organic, almost fish scale, very colorful, very interesting style. And it looks like this is photographs of Barcelona. Actually, that's pretty nice. Nice little souvenir booklet. That is looking up to the ceiling of the Sagrada Familia. It's really unusual. I would love to go see this in person. Yeah, so just a little book of architecture in Barcelona. That's nice. So here we go. Here are the pieces, and again, it's the same stock material. It's a foam with thin cardboard on either side, and printed on both sides. Very nice. You know, this is the thing about these is after working on plastic models and ceramic models, the ceramic models really make beautiful architectural models, but they take a long time to do. It's very tedious. The plastic models require so much priming and painting. It is nice every once in a while to build something like this that is quicker and easier, a little more of an instant gratification kind of thing. But what I love most about it is you don't have to do any painting. I personally get no joy out of painting at all. It is one of the reasons why I moved to the ceramic models from the plastic models, aside from the fact that the architecture in the ceramic models was much more interesting to me, but not having to paint is a great thing. In these models, because they're printed, there is so much detail that you can put on them and makes them visually very interesting, even though they are relatively flat. Oh, and look at this. We get like the stave church, we get a nice base, a little bit of simulated landscaping. That'll be very nice. This model is a little less than a foot by a foot, but it is more than a foot tall. So it's going to be a fairly substantial model when it's done. And then we've got the instructions. The Clever Papers instructions was much smaller. Of course, there was a lot fewer pieces. It was in color. This one is black and white, but definitely more going on here. There you go. The looking around online on these models, I think there's one on the back of this. One of the ones that caught my eye, and they have many, was this Notre Dame Cathedral, which I may pick up eventually. I believe that's 300 and some odd pieces. This is actually a very large model and rather impressive. You can buy these kits. They make lighting kits for them. And not only can you light this up, but it actually it folds apart so that you can take a look at the inside as well. Looked like a very impressive model for a paper or a foam board model, I guess you'd call this. And then here's a picture of a ship they do. I've seen ships and airplanes and lots of buildings. It seems like they do just about everything in these paper models. And if this is anything like the Norwegian stave church was, it'll be pretty impressive by the time it's done. Even though you have a lot of surfaces that are more flat, because you've got so much detail printed on them, it draws your eye right into that, and they don't look as flat when you're looking at them as you'd think they would be. So anyway, this should be fun, and I will put together at least one video showing you some of the construction work on here. Depending on how long this takes, I may break it into a couple of videos. So again, I really recommend these paper models to folks. This kit was about, I believe this was $16, $17, something like that. So $17 for about 3 hours worth of entertainment is not bad. Some of these models, like the Notre Dame model, I believe that was going for about $100. So they can get expensive, but most of them are in that, $10 to $20 range. A few of them just slightly higher than that, so they're not too terribly expensive. So there you go. CubicFun, Sagrada Familia, co-branded with National Geographic, and look for a build video soon. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.